56th overall back in the pandemic draft. Hot shot sucked up at first base by Kyle Manzardo, and that's the way we get started. 10 minutes after 1 o'clock on this steamy Thursday afternoon at 88 degrees. Angel Martinez in the middle of the outfield, flanked by Stephen Kwan and Nick Jones. It's going to be a rare start over at third base. Jose Ramirez not starting today, so Will Wilson stuck on the hot corner. Rokio Schneeman up the middle, and Manzardo just with the defensive play. One up and one set aside as Jordan Westberg in that number 2 spot starts behind. There's a good look at Will Wilson, the third baseman, who's going to get challenged. Nice stop as he sprawls next to the line. Can't get the throw over there in time. That throw did not have a lot on it after he makes a great stop.
And I thought he had plenty of time to set and really fire one across. He elected to get rid of it quickly. You see here, it was a terrific play. Gets turned around, and instead of setting and really throwing it, he kind of got to the point to where he felt like he had to get rid of it right away. And once it hit the grass, it actually slowed down a tad more. But Westberg, of course, even though he hit the ball hard, and actually before he was out of the box, the ball might have been caught, he still hustled down the line and beat it out.
8th hit of the road trip for Jordan Westberg. Now Gunnar Henderson, 1 on, 1 down. Jordan DHing today. Gunnar Henderson, no surprise, back at shortstop. 3 of his 4 hits on the road trip have gone for extra bases. Good cut at the 4-seam fastball from Allen. Puts him in the hole 0-2.
Excuse me, but I just haven't seen the home runs from Gunnar, and I really can't put my finger on it. I really haven't seen anything in his swing, anything that he's doing. That sometimes it just kind of happens, and sometimes it doesn't. But sure would like to see this really after the All-Star break, see that home run total jump up and let him feel comfortable going into next year, knowing that those home runs will just happen. It's just a matter of him kind of having a good approach, using the whole field, hitting the ball hard somewhere.
37 home runs a season ago, 28 in that Rookie of the Year campaign for Gunnar Henderson. He tops it away after his at-bat was kept alive on a borderline pitch that went his way. This season, 11 home runs that Tony Mansolino has watched. First handful of them, he was giving high fives, rounding third. Now he's watching as the bench boss. Move over to chase back Jordan Westberg, who's had 3 stolen base attempts in his limited action this year. You can get to this lefty. Last time out, the Athletics did exactly that by stringing together a number of hits. Cleveland had a 2-0 lead. Then Logan Allen lost the lead in the 4th inning. Shea Langoliers, Nick Kurtz for the Athletics had back-to-back RBI doubles. Well, look at this. We saw the frustration, and after the ball game, Gunnar Henderson spent a lot of time just kind of sitting on the bench. Goes after the sweeper and gets retired on strikes. So from one day, a fresh start, literally with a fresh set of cheeks after shaving up this morning.
That's a pretty good pitch there from Logan. And you mentioned the Athletics got to him a little bit, but realistically, and you see the good sweeper here, that's just perfectly located, especially after a couple fastballs up. Gets Henderson quick, and next thing you know, he's kind of way out in front. There's nothing you can do there. And going back to Logan, the win, he's lost 4 out of his last 5 starts, but he's actually pitched fairly well. I mean, no more than 3 runs in any of those starts. And 2 of the starts, he'd only give up two earned runs on one and 1 earned run on the other, and still got a loss in the game that he gave up only 2 hits and 1 earned run. So he's had a little bit of bad luck, and he's looking to turn things around. But the Orioles are surely trying to escape Cleveland with at least one of the wins here.
The Birds are 13 games under the 500 mark. They've lost 7 out of 8. They have played very well against left-handed starting pitching recently, though. That was such a huge thing for last year's ball club. They went 23-20 against left-handed starting pitching. It didn't start off great this year. John Mabry on the left side of the screen. Cody Yashi on the right. 1-1. Laureano takes outside. Snap throw down to first base. Westberg just gets back in time.
You had to do something to address that because the clubs got to the postseason and they run into a couple of tough lefties right in there that first series, and we just haven't performed offensively. against those guys. So somehow, some way, they had to try to get better against left-handed starters.
Orioles against left-handed starters this year, 12-17. And another disengagement. Or was that from the plate? Phil Cuzzi's our home plate umpire, kind of stepping out in front. This might be a communication issue, and that's exactly what we see with Logan Allen tapping the side of his cap. Let's have a peek at Allen's arsenal that'll work against the O's today.
And not overpowering. He's going to be low 90s at best with his fastball. But you see the pitch mix there. And cutter gets hit pretty hard, and the sweeper, we saw that against Henderson. That's his best pitch on batting average against. So if he's got a good feel for that, he may go to that a little bit more. We'll see how that goes.
Arsenal on StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. Lesberg's going. Laureano charges it. It's sailing towards center. Martinez turning around at the wall, and it is gone. Ramon Laureano with his third homer in Cleveland. His 14th of the season. And right out of the gate, the Orioles have a 2-0 lead.
We saw him earlier in this series crush 2 balls to left field. 2 bombs, hit about as hard as you can hit them. And that one, he stays on it and goes to a little bit right of center field for the home run. Hits that ball hard. That ball's carrying out there pretty good. Nicely done, Ramon.
Pitch tapped away, foul by Tyler O'Neill. Ramon Laureano draws even with Jackson Holliday for the clubhouse lead. 14 home runs for Holliday and Laureano. Red hot right now, and O'Neill shoots one past the leap of Wilson up the left field line. Quan does a good job wheeling it back towards the diamond. A long single for Tyler O'Neill, who's back in the lineup after the last couple of days. General body soreness have kept him on the sidelines.
Batting sixth now, the third baseman, number 29 for the Orioles.
3 out of the last 4. Good contact off of Allen. Westberg with the single. Laureano making it 2-0 with a 414-foot home run. Ramon Arias lines it towards Martinez. Started in, now reaches out, and that ball's by him, going all the way to the wall. O'Neill coming down the line. He will score all the way from first. On the ball, misplayed by Angel Martinez in straightaway center field. Arias gets the ribby double, and it's 3-0 Birds.
Misplayed because that ball was knuckling out there. I saw that ball kind of tailing to the right field side of center field, and all of a sudden, about 30-40 feet before it got to center field, you can see on the angle here, and that ball actually started going one way, and then it knuckled and went hard to the left. So I could see how he misjudged it, because that ball did some funky stuff out there.
That is the 3rd double that Ramon Arias has gotten. Played unconventionally. Chandler Simpson misread a ball in Tampa. One dropped in the triangle for a double for Ramon Arias, and now he's got the ribby to show for it today. And that comes up and in against Kobe Mann. Allen is all lost in sorts. Now hold on, Phil Cuzzi's walking up the first baseline. Tony Mansolino is coming over. Stephen Vogt looking on as well. Kobe Mayo thought he got hit by that pitch.
Yeah, but I guess Cuzzi doesn't think so.
Pitch boring in.
The ruling on the field is a foul ball. The ruling on the field is a foul ball. The previous play is under review.
That'll be reversed. That clearly hits him on the upper wrist.
Yeah, Kobe looking down just below his wrist right there. That was nowhere near the knob of the bat.
No, nowhere near it.
He's got the wound to prove it. Dan Bellino is the crew chief.
The ruling on the field is overturned. It is a hit by pitch. The batter is awarded first base. Baltimore retains its challenge.
That was flipped in a split second. Our manager's challenge brought to you by Hyundai. Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Deals so right, it almost feels wrong. Only at your local Hyundai dealer.
And you can clearly understand why the umpire has to make a call on that. it happens so fast. There's no way he can see. He has to really kind of, more than anything, go by sound and then the reaction of the hitter to make that call. So that's another reason why replay is so important there.
Tells you how flush it got Kobe Mayo, too, if it sounded like it hit the lumber. Chris Guccione and Alan Porter are back at the Replay Operations Center in New York. Relaying to Dan Bellino and Phil Cuzzi. The reverse, and getting Dylan Carlson to the plate. The 8th different hitter in this first inning. And he smokes one to straightaway center field. Martinez hangs with this one. And that's the way the side is retired. But boy, did it ever get started nicely. Arias had a double, followed with Ramon Laureano and his 14th of. So look at the starting lineup for Stephen Vogt in his second year at the helm of the Guardians. Win last night, bumped him over the 500 mark. And you talk about peaks and valleys. That is exactly what the Guardians have gone through over the last couple of weeks. They dropped 10 straight, and now over the last 13 games, and remember the All-Star break was smack dab in the middle of this, but over the last 13 games, they've only lost twice. Chopper on the left side. Arias runs underneath it, and Mayo holds the bag.
Yeah, when you think about the Guardians, literally 2 weeks ago, they were in a position to where losing 10 in a row, like, okay, I guess we have to think about maybe we're sellers. 2 weeks later, they're clearly smack dab in the middle of this thing, playing as good as any team in baseball.
Look at Morton's numbers. There's Stephen Vogt, skipper of Cleveland. Charlie's off to a good start. A quick out on a very pesky hitter in Stephen Kwan. Now he deals with the rookie Angel Martinez.
Love the fact that Charlie just said, you know what, I got a 3-run lead. I'm going to feel it right now. I'm going to just fill up the strike zone with 95, 96 and see what happens from there. I mean, 3 straight fastballs to Kwan, all but almost kind of center cut. They can put the ball in play and see what happens. And then he goes 3-0.
Yeah.
We missed just above the strike zone on the first pitch to Martinez, and now he's going back-to-back changeups.
Clips the outside corner on the 3-0 with a good sinker. Do you marvel at what Charlie Morton has been able to do at this point in his career, plus the turnaround this season?
It's amazing to me that we're at his age and he simply can just throw it up there at 95, 96 miles per hour. Just looks like he's not even trying. I look back and looked at some of his velocities. About 10 years ago, He had about 2 or 3 years in a row where he was throwing 90, 91. And then, boom, the velocity bumped back up again to 94 to 96.
From 3-0 to 3-2, and he lost him with the fastball. Martinez will take a 1-out walk.
Bunch of the other pitches, but I still think he can be dominant with that curveball. Throw it more.
That ball batted in between Holiday and Mayo. Martinez digging for third. And the Guardians have him on the corners after Jose Ramirez didn't waste any time making contact off of Martin.
Unfortunately, Mayo's holding bag at first base, so he's not able to get off there far enough and be able to make a play here. Ramirez hit the ball pretty good, but it pitches up. And there's the replay there, just kind of tweener out of the reach of Mayo.
Kobe holding the runner on at first, but then Angel Martinez, the runner at first base, had a slam on the brakes. That one buzzed his buttons. He's going from first. Chuck down to the bag. Henderson late in coverage. Ramirez will swipe his 31st of the season. Jose has been running wild in this series. Another year for him. More than 20 home runs, more than 30 stolen bases.
Yeah, Gunnar was, where he's positioned late covering the bag because Ramirez didn't get a great jump. And it was possible if Gunnar would have got to that bag sooner, they may have had him.
Taken back foul by Kyle Manzardo.
I thought the ball got past the bag before Ramirez got in there.
I did too. Is that a field play? Is that up to Alex Jackson behind the plate? Is that some indicator that maybe Henderson, perhaps Holiday, missed?
You have to hold your ground, but where Gunnar's playing, he's even closer to second than maybe even normal, so I would have thought he would be able to get there. He may have just been caught off guard. I mean, it happens in an instant.
I don't think Kyle Manzardo was aware of the count.
No.
It was a good bounce back by Charlie Moore and a 3-pitch strikeout. Manzardo kind of hovered in the left-handed batter's box, looking back at Phil Cuzzy. I don't know if he said, could I get an extra strike? I want to be at the plate longer.
Yeah, he lost track of the count, no doubt.
Phil Cuzzy said, no, we're playing with the same rules as last year. And last night, for that matter. Curveball from Morton snapped in for a strike on Nolan Jones. Jones has had a tough series against the O's, going 1 for 10. Driven out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. This is the bounce back that Morton is trying to get after the walk to Martinez, the quick single by Jose Ramirez, and then the stolen base. Second and third were teed up with only 1 out.
Excuse me, Ben. You'd hate to give up 2 runs right here. Problem is, of course, 2 out base hits. Guardians have been really good with it recently, and the Orioles have not been able to close the door with 2 outs.
A pump fake by Jackson from behind the plate with that long secondary lead with Ramirez, but didn't make the throw.
Yeah, he should have thrown that ball because all Gunner's got to do is run Ramirez to third base, and then the runner Martinez has to commit to go home, and then they get him in the rundown and get him out.
Martinez is about a third of the way down the third baseline. Line drive caught at first base by Mayo. That stops the Guardians' threat here in the first. Morton bounces back, and he keeps it 3-0 Orioles.
He followed up on that today at his pregame press conference. He said the bullpen phone rang to the dugout in the 7th inning. He says whenever that happens, he knows it's not something not right. The phone was slammed down, and he knew then. And he was told that Felix just wasn't feeling right. Later on, revealed that he had right shoulder discomfort. He is on the IL, retroactive, July the 21st. So he said whenever you get that call from the bullpen, then you know it's not a good thing. Cade Stroud is called up, recall from AAA Norfolk, and Felix Bautista plays on the 15-day IL, again, retroactive, July the 21st with right shoulder discomfort.
You remember that Felix Bautista had that outing in Tampa on Sunday, so that's why Monday is the day that you can backtrack it for Felix Bautista. That puts him on the injured list past the trade deadline. I'm not sure that the Orioles were really fielding phone calls on Felix Bautista to be part of a trade package anyway. People in the front office and around the ball club that I've talked with basically throwing up a stiff arm, like, hey, this guy is going to be a massive part of our future, and we want him to stay with the Baltimore Orioles. So this, of course, trade deadline aside, this is a big blow.
It is, and I think when you think about having a closer and what he can do and how shut down he is, this seems to be a minor situation here. I mean, the shoulder, we don't know for sure, but look, I've had tendonitis before in my shoulder, and sometimes it just comes out of a little bit of overuse, maybe too many pitches and after having a layoff, or sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I thought it was odd that he didn't really kind of feel right, or didn't feel like he could go until the 7th inning, because normally, the guys get out there and they stretch and they play catch and everything before the game, and I would have thought if he had discomfort there, he would have said something. But look, that's not a phone call you want in the middle of the game, especially when you're trying to strategize what's going on. It's hard enough when you may be out with one of your normal guys in a certain situation at the back end of the bullpen. But then when you're actually already made a move, and then you've made another move, and you've got this game planned out and who you're going to place in what situations, and then you get a phone call and say, oh yeah, one of the guys that you're getting ready to use, he's not available. So yeah, that's not a fun situation.
Holiday takes upstairs with one down here in the 2nd inning. Count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, when the phone rings one way, dugout to bullpen, that's the line of communication you want. Holiday into the glove, tapping it off to Austin Hedges. Back-to-back strikeouts for Allen. But when the call's coming back this way, Tony Mansolino said, you just know that it's not good. It's not good news. But in the 7th inning, as Felix Bautista was starting to activate, he wasn't loosening up yet. He was just activating. That's when he felt that discomfort. Westbrook threw the 4-seam fastball. But this is a big deal. Anytime that you have to navigate around the final 3 outs of a game, and you're trying to lock up a close win, a save situation, and you don't know day by day who those 3 outs are going to belong to, it's an unnerving situation.
It is, and you just have to kind of stretch a little bit. Maybe you get in a couple extra 10, 12, 15 pitches from your starter, if you can do that, and then you're mix and matching. Maybe you're doing situational stuff more in that 7th and 8th inning, more so than you would otherwise when you're bringing in your closer.
Jones
who's up, Ben.
Jones underneath it to retire the side. Birds turned away 1-2-3 here in the 2nd. Jose Ramirez moved into scoring position with his 31st stolen base, but then Morton struck out Kyle Manzardo and got Nolan Jones to line out. It wasn't that easy because the base runners were trying to be very disruptive around the veteran Charlie Morton with Martinez and Ramirez. Weak ground ball on the right side. Mayo started to go grab it out of the glove and shoveled by Holliday to get the out. Good retreat by Mayo. Good challenge by Holliday to shovel it off to get the out.
To the second baseman, Jackson. So then when he started to go over there, he was not going to get there. So it was good recovery by Mayo to understand that Jackson was going to be able to make that play and that he had to actually get back to cover first base.
Daniel Schneemann retired by the right side of the diamond. First appearance of this series for Will Wilson and his rookie campaign with Cleveland. This is his 32nd ball game in the big leagues. 27 years of age. From Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Angels picked him up in the first round a handful of years ago. Two-one, poured right over. Evens the count. He's been in the Angels organization. He's been in the Giants organization. Played a lot of shortstop in his career, getting the call today at third base. And he's down on strikes, going after the curveball. Second strikeout for Morton.
That's a good one there. Perfectly located. Lower than the fastball, and it's also perfectly located down and away.
Brian Rocchio jolts one out to right field. O'Neill battles a little sunshine, plenty of room to work, and how about that tidy 1-2-3 second for Charlie Morton? That'll get us through two here in Cleveland. You can find your Orioles everywhere. Today, you find them in Cleveland, Ohio. Gunnar Henderson second at bat. Struck out swinging his first time up against Logan Allen. Faced 8 batters in the first inning. Allowed the 2-run homer to Ramon Laureano. Tyler O'Neill then bladed one into left. He was doubled home by Ramon Arias. And like that, that looked down and away.
It was not a strike.
In the air towards center, pushing Martinez back, has to hit the accelerator and runs underneath it. That line drive hit right at him. A little bit more difficult to judge, but he tracks it down. Can't track. For Ramon Laureano. That's today's PNC Bank slow-mo moment.
Yeah, as impressive as those first 2 home runs in the series were, and especially the one off the curveball, I thought he was just sitting on it and just smoked it. That one in the first inning was pretty good.
Rocchio flags it on a hop, and Laureano's retired. 6 in a row retired by Allen.
Approaching the plate now for Baltimore, number 9, Tyler O'Neill.
Today is the 34th game of the season for Tyler O'Neill. A couple of significant stints on the injured list. Most recently, his 10th game back. Now 6 for his last 34 at the plate. One from Allen. Off the outside corner, puts O'Neill behind.
That pitch is at least 3 inches off the plate, maybe 4. Put Gunnar in a tough spot. Now you got O'Neill 1 and 2 in a tough spot.
That's very high. Can you quantify how much of a swing that is for a pitcher being on the mound from going from 2 and 1 to 1 and 2?
Huge. I mean, no question about it.
Tyler O'Neill's got a 2-hit day. Yanked the first, sends the second the opposite way.
Nice hitting right there. Doesn't try to do too much, just trying to cover the whole plate. You see here is going to change up so he doesn't come off of it. Stays right down on it. Line drive over to second baseman's head. Real nice there. Yeah, ask any hitter, do I want to hit 2 and 1 or 1 and 2? And ask any pitcher, do I want to be in a 2-1 deficit or a 1-2 count? I mean, that's a huge difference, especially early in the count there. That's because 1 and 2 as a pitcher, I've got 2 pitches now where I can kind of do whatever I want, maybe kind of just miss a little bit, get him to chase something, set up the next pitch. But 2 and 1 is like, oh, I got to throw a strike. I got to come back and throw a strike. I don't want to go 3 and 1.
Allen in front of Arias, 0-2. 50th pitch of the afternoon. That's way outside. Good look at the 26-year-old. Two balls and 2 strikes on Ramon. O'Neill with a 2-out single, drifting away from first. It's got a couple of long looks from Allen. And there's a gift for Ramon Arias. Allen got a couple of strike calls off the corners, but it's kind of this gray area now in Major League Baseball strike zones where the down and in or the down and out corners are 50-50. Tapper to the shortstop. Rocchio looks the short way, makes the long throw, and that'll retire Arias and the Orioles here in the 3rd inning. Rob Long on the sidelines, Dave Johnson, I'm Ben Wagner. Orioles with a 3-0 lead over the Guardians. The number 9 hitter Austin Hedges trying to butt his way aboard. That's another first pitch strike, no matter how Charlie Morton gets him. He has now had first pitch strikes on 8 of 9 batters in today's game. Laureano in left field. Jogs through the sunshine, and that's a nice quick out. One of the reasons he's been established.
Mid-90s four-seamer and two-seamer. Fill up that strike zone. Work it in, work it away. Throw that first pitch for a strike. Put them in a position where they know for the next 2 or 3 or 4 innings, however long Charlie's in there, hey, I'm going to throw the first pitch for a strike. It might not be a fastball, but I'm going to throw the first pitch for a strike. So you can either swing at it or be behind in the count.
That's hit well by Kwan, turning O'Neill around, and it'll land in the seats. Another home run by this Guardians ball club. They've hit home runs in 13 out of the last 14 games.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, you got a big lead. He threw a pitch, and Kwan hit the ball to the ballpark. You see here, another pitch. It ends up staying. He was trying to go away, and it came back to the center of the plate. So Kwan put a good swing on it. To me, it's still better than walking them and not giving them a chance to, hit that ball at somebody. So we've seen more recently in the last several at-bats with Kwan that when they've made him put the ball in play, just like in the first inning, he's not always going to get a hit. So I don't have a problem with that right there. He didn't throw it right where he wanted to, but attack these hitters. Throw that ball over the plate.
7th home run of the season for Stephen Kwan. Ahead of the All-Star break, he was dealing with some wrist inflammation. Was an All-Star for Cleveland. Had a shot to relieve some of the pain during the All-Star break. Missed the Athletics series and hasn't missed a beat. That's just out of the reach of Jackson Holliday. Angel Martinez aboard for the second time with his first hit.
The organization felt that Kwan, earned that right to go to the All-Star game. And they said, go enjoy the All-Star game, and we'll get you healthy right afterwards. And clearly, he looks like that wrist isn't bothering him one bit. As well.
He's made a couple of sparkling plays, both on the fly, reads off the wall, down in the corner. Reason that he's won 3 straight Gold Gloves. One down, one back on, with one coming in for Cleveland here in the third. Tying run of the batter's box with Jose Ramirez. Now with 4 hits against the Orioles in this series. 3 out of the 4 have been extra bases, including home runs on Monday and Tuesday. He had a double yesterday. And when he had his base hit today, he proved again that he's a menace when he's on the bases. Horn with a good move. Martinez hustles back quickly.
That double that Ramirez hit yesterday was off of just a terrific pitch. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Man, I'll tell you what, that was pitched down and off the plate, and he hooked it down the right field line for a double.
Played to pull a little bit. That ball handcuffed Kobe Mayo and ends up in the ribs of Angel Martinez. He's a little slow to get up.
Yeah, let Ben do the play we talked to.
That get him in the ribs, maybe the leg. Martinez certainly shaken. Oh, and he rolled on top of it. Yikes.
Yeah, Charlie with the quick feet, he flipped that ball over there. Mayo didn't even get a glove on it.
One. Out of play. Runner from first is going, and he'll have to retreat after the foul ball back our way. Here is Jose Ramirez, and the fact that he has been a thorn in the side of the O's. Last 20 games, he's just bludgeoned everything. And he'll drop another base hit into left center field. Martinez cuts the bag at second. He's on his way to third. It's a 2-for-2 day for Jose Ramirez. Boy, he does the long and the short of it, doesn't he, at the plate? From both sides.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty darn good pitch, too, from Charlie. Breaking ball, down, and he's just able to get enough solid contact to get it into the outfield. Look here. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Looks like he's actually out in front. Maybe hits it on the end of the bat.
Three-one ball game. O's on top. Stephen Kwan's solo home run here in the third, getting the Guardians a little offensive life. And Morton, very aware of the 31 stolen bases of Jose Ramirez, checks in on him quickly. It's such a unique combination for Jose Ramirez. Both sides of the plate, he's got pop. He's not afraid to run. He's a tremendous base runner. Pitch to Manzardo outside. But when you accumulate what he has been able to do with this franchise, having the speed, having the power, for his 100 games of the season this year, this is remarkable. Now, Ronald Acuna Jr. has done it in short order. Now you got to turn back the clock a little bit. Another Buckeye superstar, Eric Davis with the Cincinnati Reds, and briefly a Baltimore Oriole on that list as well.
Ramirez is, to me, he's a little bit of, under the radar guy, because I think he's a superstar. Defensively, he's so good, and all the things that we know he does offensively.
Cuts down and in. Morton behind 3 balls and no strikes. He's got over 275 career home runs here in Cleveland. 250 or more stolen bases. Those numbers combined, very unique, because the other 3 guys that were able to do it with a single club are in Cooperstown. That pitch is high, and that's a 4-pitch walk for Morton. So that will load the bases. But you had Robin Yount, who did it in Milwaukee, Craig Biggio, who went wire to wire for his entire career, multiple positions doing so with Houston, and then Derek Jeter also did it with the New York Yankees. Yount was
I think some of the drool from his mouth was getting onto his hands, and his hands were slippery and he couldn't hold the bat right. Because actually I had a lot of success against Robin Yount.
This is Nolan Jones with the bases loaded and 1 out.
I must have threw a little too slow for him.
Work fast, change speeds. You figured it out.
Yeah. Well, that was, because he's having a bad day back there, and that's a pitch that you really don't necessarily want to have that pitch called a lot, but it was a strike, especially after you walk somebody. You want that pitch called because you want to get on an 0-1 count. So unfortunately that we do not have the automatic strike zone, which I am a huge proponent of.
By the way, Robin Yount went 3 for 18 against you in your career. No extra base hits. So soft singles. You know what? Ryan Sullivan, our great producer, just told me you struck the fear of him into Robin Yount. You struck some fear in him because you hit him the first time you faced him.
Well, there you go.
swing and a miss by Jones.
It's a wonder he didn't catch it and throw it back to me. Yeah, I didn't know what the numbers were, but I knew I had some success against him.
By the way, if you look at the numbers, you bookended the career of Robin Yount with hit by pitches.
Really?
Yeah. That's fouled back. It stays 1-2.
Well, it just shows you I wasn't very smart. I'm hitting a guy that actually I can get out.
Bases loaded. Martinez, Ramirez, Manzardo aboard. That's towards the line. Laureano going back towards the corner, looking up, and reels it back towards him. Whoa! Tagging at third, Martinez will come back in. Laureano went into the corner, fighting the sun, got twisted around, overran that ball, and then went reaching behind him to make the basket catch.
That's a good play because, look, when you get in the corner and now you're getting close to the wall, you're in unfamiliar territory here. So that ball's carrying a little bit further than we thought it was going to, and all of a sudden that wind starts to pull it back the other way just as he was getting ready to jump. It's actually a really good play. He took his eye off of it for a second, was able to find it, and then that ball drifted back to his left, and he reaches out and makes the catch.
Guardians within one, and Steeman vaults it high. O'Neal waving for it. He's there to retire the side. The bases were loaded after the...
Jackson was going to be able to get there, and Charlie was not covering. So nice recovery there for him to get back.
Hits the ball hard, but lines out to right field. Our Rob Long has a little bit more on Kobe Mayo.
Yes, in Tampa, I saw Kobe Mayo working a little bit with Matt Salino, but working a lot with John Mabry on the fundamentals at first base, not just fielding balls, but plays like that, knowing when to cover, when to go aggressively after the baseball. He has been spending a lot of time on his fielding at first base, putting a lot of time. Like it was he and John Mabry the entire series down at Tampa. I witnessed them put a lot of time before batting practice and everything. They got there extra early.
Working at first base has been such a massive part for Kobe Mayo and the build of his confidence. And there's a lot of work being done around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, no matter where the Orioles are. One of the drills that I witnessed here in Cleveland is where he would square up with his chest facing the dugout. John Mabry would step off to his left side, and they're about a yard in between each other. And John Mabry would take a baseball with a baseball bat and just hit a little short hop, only about 3 feet away. But Kobe, in an athletic position, would have to stand again square towards the dugout and then quickly get the backhand down and handle that short hop. He's working on reaction time. He's working on reading quickly with that scoop, which you have to be able to do that with throws coming from all of your infielders. You've got to be able to do that with all the pickoff moves that sometimes will take a bounce too. It's all about fine-tuning that reaction time and putting it all together, then making it translate and be more comfortable on the diamond.
One of the drills that I love that they use also is the short hop drill when coming to the baseball. Knowing when to scoop it and push the glove through, and knowing when to receive the ball into your body. That's something they spend a lot of time as well, because a lot of times you notice that short hop eats the fielder up. So he's showing him when to get his body on the side of the ball and when to square the ball up. And they spend a lot of time on that drill as well.
That's a great point, Rob, because first base is much different than where Kobe has spent a lot of time in the big leagues at third base, where there's so much of just natural reaction when you're playing third base. You're just relying on your overall athleticism. There's a lot of method to the madness when you're moving over to first base.
First base is not a position where you simply just, let's put the guy over there that doesn't have a lot of mobility, and he's a big target, so we'll throw him at first base. No, that doesn't work. At the big league level, really at all levels, but even more importantly here, there's a lot of different things going on that they have to be aware of.
Alex Jackson, middle of the diamond. Everybody wants it. And Steven's going to out-rebound Rocchio for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the fourth. A 2-run home run and a Ramon Urias RBI double. Both runs came off of Charlie Morton in the last half inning when he was on the hill. It's 7, 8, and 9, starting with Will Wilson. And a curveball flopped in for a called strike 1.
I think this is a little bit of an underrated ballpark.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I love this ballpark.
I love this place too.
Tapped into the glove and held for strike 2. And this ballpark opened in 1994. It's gone through a couple of different iterations. They've improved a number of things on the concourse level, various different levels above to make the fan experience a little better. O2 spelled back. Massive renovation over the last calendar year. They completely removed the lower bowl and changed underneath, where fans don't get much of a perspective unless you're right behind home plate in the new Carnegie Club. But if you go down the corner, they've taken away the restaurant. They've opened that up in left field. They got rid of the shipping containers, which was part of the first transition of the renovations above the wall at right. Now they've opened that up. in the pennant district, which is what they call that upper deck open air area. Pitch is fouled back again by Wilson at 0-2.
A lot of things that the fans don't see. They've also renovated both sides of the dugouts, the home side and the visitor side. They've done a tremendous work down there.
A lot of attention to detail, and I think the last couple of facilities that we've seen revamped without changing necessarily the overall address certainly is in the crosshairs of what the Orioles want to do from a fan experience standpoint. Open up the ballpark, improve things from a fan experience perspective down underneath for the ball clubs, both the home side and the visiting side. Look at Wilson in the foul ball. Came up and it got the bare hand of Alex Jackson. Well, that's very dangerous. You got a lot of tiny bones exposed on the backside of your hand.
Yeah, he thought he had his hand kind of behind his leg there, but on the angle and the foul ball was able to get just above the wrist, I think.
Got him. Big curveball, and Wilson goes right over the top. Second time that Charlie Morton's got Will Wilson today.
He's through. And on the outer half of the plate there to be effective.
Topped away by Brian Rocchio. "55 pitches, 40 strikes from Charlie Morton today. And about a 50-50 usage of curveball and fastballs. Fastball velo's been up today. Curveball has been good. That's a good curveball that was offered at by Rocchio. He's in the hole 0-2. Back out of the line, and it got him again. Another curveball and a beauty snapped off by Charlie Morton. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the fourth inning.
Little backdoor breaking ball there. Starts out off the plate. The hitter realizes that this pitch may catch the outside corner, even though it doesn't. But he knows Charlie's got the good curveball, and he reads that it's a curveball, and it just doesn't come far enough over to get to the plate. So Rocchio's not able to reach that pitch.
And another first pitch strike from Charlie Morton today. Austin Hedges taking a rip, and another really firm fastball from Charlie Morton. This is low at the sinker. More behind 2 balls and a strike on the number 9 hitter. Bo Naylor had done the catching the first 3 games of this series. Day game after the night game, so the veteran backstop, Austin Hedges, gets the call. That won't stay playable. Hedges asking for time. Here's a good look at the matchup. 2-2. Chase the high fastball.
This is that cat and mouse game here. 2-2. Hedges knows Charlie's got the good curveball. Charlie knows he's got that good curveball, but do I throw it? If I don't throw the curveball right where I want to, I can hang it and make an easier pitch to hit. So do I go to top of the zone with the fastball? What do I back it up with? Came right back with the breaking ball.
Coming into today, these two vets have only seen each other 3 times. I was a little surprised looking at the head-to-head matchups. Charlie's won all 4 battles. Here comes the 3-2. And a curveball right in there for strike 3. Charlie Morton strikes out the side quickly in the fourth inning. Run homer off of Cody Allen with 2 down in the 9th inning. That propelled the Orioles to a 5-3 walk-off win and a sweep over Cleveland back in 2016. Jackson Holliday bounces it out to his counterpart. Schneemann will retire him starting off the 5th inning. 2016, 37,821 went bananas. Watching that ball game and Nolan Ryan walk-off home run, of course. That was a big series, a 4-game sweep over the Guardians at the time. That was the season that Cleveland was a wrecking ball, no matter who they played, but all the way to the World Series that year.
And I look back at a guy like Nolan Ryan, what could have been, the guy just could not stay healthy. It's a shame.
Tremendous player when he was healthy, offensively, defensively. That's it, tied on Jordan Westburg. This is the venue that had one of the more iconic Game 7s in professional sports history, right here in Cleveland in 2016. Game 7 between the Guardians and the Chicago Cubs. So close to Chicago, so you could make that drive on 80-90 and go from one city to the next. You have to open your wallet to get in the building. But 2016, where the Chicago Cubs broke their own curse and won a World Series here. Nolan Jones jogging near the line. Westburg's retired, 2 down here in the 5th. I was here for that game, and I don't know how it translated on television, but living it live, and I had no rooting interest one way or the other. It was an opportunity, being 3.5 hours away at the time, to see a Game 7 of World Series. I couldn't pass the opportunity, so I got tickets to the game, came to the ballpark, and I was stunned. The energy that went both ways. It felt like a 50-50 crowd in that Game 7. Cubs fans from everywhere. A son that had moved from Denver, Colorado, got a job in Chicago, promised his father that if the Cubs ever went to the World Series, they would watch it together, sitting right in front of us. It was a moment that two of them not only were living it in the moment, but it looked like decades of their passion for being Chicago Cubs fans were just pouring out of the pore. Just a remarkable fan experience to observe. Gunnar Henderson behind 1-2. And he fouls it away. And he'll beat the drift of Wilson. Slip it near the line and into left field.
Boy, Gunnar needed that. Hit the ball hard somewhere and then able to get the base hit. That was nice to see. He's been fighting, battling. He's so frustrated right now. You can see it every at bat that he doesn't come up big for the club. So intense.
5 hits now on the road trip for Gunnar Henderson. Here's Ramon Laureano. His own revenge tour here in Cleveland with a 3-homer series. Monday, Tuesday, and today. Got the offense started. Paints the outside corner. Allen in front 0-2. I was chatting on Monday with Stephen Vogt about being teammates and eventually then the manager with Ramon Laureano. He said, I saw him play at his best when I was at the end of my career. I wish I would have been able to give him more playing time because I knew the player that he could be if he got regular playing time. It just wasn't in the cards for him and the situation that he was with Cleveland last year. And when he got an opportunity, then going to Atlanta, his season took off. He was nearly a 300 hitter. Move over to the bag at first. Henderson goes back standing.
It's amazing what sometimes just a change of scenery will do, and then an opportunity presents itself. And that change of scenery in Atlanta, the opportunity presented itself, and he took full advantage of it.
31 games last year in Cleveland. Towards the hole, picked up by Wilson. Looks at second. Long throw in time at first base to retire the side. Henderson left the board midway through the 5th inning. Bird. We're ready for a fight. Game 4 of this 4-game series. Cleveland and Baltimore here this afternoon. Kobe Mayo over at first base for the O's as Charlie Morton moves into the 5th inning after striking out the side in the 4th. A 3-run first inning by Baltimore included a Ramon Laureano 2-run home run, Ramon Arias with an RBI double. Stephen Kwan's the one that got the offense started for Cleveland. Hit his 7th of the season, just over the high wall and right. couple of singles and then a walk would load up the bases. Nolan Jones with a sacrifice fly, drawing the Guardians within a run. Driven out of play by Kwan. He's had some good success against Charlie Morton in his career. Now 3 for 7 with a couple of home runs against him.
He's got a good curveball. His fastball is there, so sometimes he hasn't located it really well, but in the end, the curveball's been there. Kwan looks like Babe Ruth all of a sudden.
Man, oh man. He leans on a second. Another solo home run by the Guardians. This one stings. Second of the day by Stephen Kwan. Ties this game 3-3. Stephen Kwan has 4 career hits off of Charlie Morton. 3 of them have been home runs.
Looks like he was just... and he doesn't miss it.
There's a switch hitting Angel Martinez. Stephen Kwan. On base 5 times on Monday night. That's rocketed to the gap. Long run over. Carlson reaching out, running it down. Dylan Carlson just back up from AAA, springing into the starting lineup today. No Cedric Mullins in center, so it's...
And basically kind of outruns it right there. Makes a good play.
One loud out. There's Jose Ramirez. Good changeup from Morton, picking the bottom outside corner. Ramirez has a 2 for 2 day. Went back up the middle and into right. Well, got the downstairs corner, couldn't get the upstairs.
Of course, Jose didn't like the first pitch. Didn't like the call on it, but it was there. So was the second one.
He's behind 1-2. Oh, and he twisted him up with a curveball. Did he offer? No.
No offer, and that ball hit him in back foot, it looked like. You can see here that ball going to break in right on the back foot, right on the back heel. It's weird because to me, you could have called that a swing.
We're tied 3-3 here in the 5th. Fastball's a little bit upstairs on Kyle Manzardo. Let's have one more look.
I mean, he never stops the swing. That goes through the zone all the way past, out in front of home plate. And I realize part of that he's also trying to not do anything with the swing. He's trying to get his foot out of the way and not get hit. But in the process, the bat does go through the zone, which means if the ball would have been on plane, it would have hit it.
Ramirez in motion. That's popped up. Arias goes back from third. Laureano coming in right next to the tarp. Arias almost got to it.
Corral that ball.
Yeah, it's pretty helpless when you know the tarp can chop block you and you're going full tilt. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Manzardo.
Those plays, once you get to the warning track, those are tough plays because when you're not familiar with playing there 81 times out of the year, you're in a position where you're kind of a little bit of a disadvantage there.
Yeah, watch the reaction of Kyle Manzardo, too. With Ramirez being in motion, he was a little frustrated that he went after that pitch. Because he was in motion, had the bag stolen. He'll stay this time. Ooh, that curveball nearly got Manzardo. And for good measure, chasing back Ramirez. Swats all that dirt away. It's been a pretty good series for Kyle Manzardo. Hit a home run the other night. His 16th of the season, a go-ahead homer on Monday. 2-2 with Ramirez in motion. Strike 3 called, chucked down to the bag. And that's going to be an out on Ramirez. How about that? Strike him out, throw him out. Inning-ending double play. Never miss a long ball. Go to massinsports.com and subscribe today. We go to the 6th inning here in Cleveland. Tyler O'Neill will lead it off. And he popped it up right around home plate, drifting out near the mound. The first baseman staying with it. Manzardo retires O'Neill. Logan Allen wanted part of the action, too.
He did. Hey, look, when you're a pitcher and you see the catcher struggling to find the ball, you're like, okay, that's mine, until somebody calls me off.
Somebody on the diamond yelling, hey, let the athletes take over, please.
Okay, I hear you.
That's jolted. Ramon Arias drives it out to left field. Kwan back at the wall as that ball dies. Ramon left stunned.
For the Orioles, Kobe Mayo.
He thought he hit it better now. He hit it good, but he thought he was a little higher. He thought that had a chance to maybe go off the wall or maybe get out of here. It's a pretty good swing on it. Just kind of caught it on the end of the bat a little bit. Didn't quite get the sweet spot. Of course, if it's going to stay in the ballpark, Kwan's going to catch it.
Yeah, don't hit it to that guy. Two down here in the 6th inning. Pitch to Kobe Mayo. On the line out to right field. Jones has it squared up, and that'll retire this side. Birds turned away. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. 5.5 gone by. Bottom 6, 3-3 game. Charlie Morton has been outstanding today. And the pitch to Nolan Jones has driven out a playoff to the left for strike one. We've seen more velocity from Charlie Morton than we have all season long. He's been snapping off some really good curveballs. He's got a couple of quick innings. And he's out in front 0-2 by slipping another four-seamer past a Guardian hitter.
He's taking care of business on the latter part of the lineup for Cleveland. Of course, the first three hitters are the only guys hitting over 250, and everybody else is hitting 225 or less. So he's done the job with them, but he just hasn't been able to handle Kwan and Martinez and Ramirez. So he's got to, if he has an opportunity to go through the lineup again with them, which with his pitch count what it is, he probably won't face those guys again. But they've kind of been the problem for him, of course.
A massive difference in this one with a pair of solo home runs. His first career multiple homer game. You got Cleveland on the board in the third, tied the game 3-3 in the fifth. Daniel Schneeman's 0 for 2, bouncing to second and flying to right. That'll drop over the outside corner. That ties up the second baseman. That's another time that Morton's able to get in front. He's been 0-2 or 1-2 in 12 different at-bats today. That's half of the 24 batters that he's faced. Evens the count, missing with a curveball.
Jackson's set up inside. I thought he was maybe going to try to run that four-seamer in on the hands there, try to grab the inside corner, but he didn't. He threw another breaking ball. Then he goes with the fastball there. Got away from him.
Fouled away, and it stays 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I was thinking earlier in this game and over the past 3 and now 3.5 games here that I was doing here in Cleveland, it's like I hardly ever see anybody freeze anybody with a fastball. It's like the hitters seem to be much more in swing mode with 2 strikes than they used to be.
Fastball's a little high. A one-out base runner for Cleveland here in the 6th. The go-ahead run is aboard. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles.
I just feel because when I was pitching in you were sequencing, and even though I threw a lot of fastballs, or mostly 2-seamers, but mixed in a bunch of 4-seamers along the way, that there were times, a couple different times during the course of each ball game, where I would throw a fastball and you'd freeze a guy, and you clearly thought that he wasn't looking for that pitch. You just kind of snuck in on him a little bit, located well, or again sequenced well, but just don't see that very often.
Quick move over to first. Schneemann hustles back.
Seems like most pitchers now always throw something. When they get 2 strikes, they seem to always go with an off-speed pitch.
Corbin Martin loosening in the bullpen. Morton has just gone over 90 pitches today. Still got that good fastball at 94 miles an hour. He has dominated the bottom half of the lineup. Starting with the cleanup hitter in Manzardo. And then the rest of the way through. Mentioned that all the hits were from 1, 2, 3. Towards the hole, Oria steps over. Holiday with the pivot and an easy double play. Around the horn it goes. 5, 4, 3. More. start to see the amber waves of grain there. Here in the city, we move to the 7th. Dylan Carlson will lead it off. Carlson 0 for 2, returning to the lineup. Dylan quietly has been on the shuttle back and forth 5 different times this season. Tracks it low. Lined out hard to center field his first time up. Down swinging his second. Now third at bat against the lefty, Logan Allen. Is working in the rotation for this Guardians club that might not be complete yet. That's hit well. Out to left field, backing up Kwan. Pulls it in right at the edge of the warning track. So 1 up and 1 down, and here comes Alex Jackson. 0 for 2 at the plate today, but what he's done behind the plate is extremely impressive. This is an elite pop time when it comes from the catcher, getting the ball hitting his glove, down to the glove at second base. 1.8. Hard to get any better than that.
It was actually the perfect location, even though it was a breaking ball. You know, when the breaking ball's coming in there, you got to be a tad quicker, but the anticipation of waiting. But the good thing was the pitch was on the upper part of the strike zone, so he was kind of able to come out of his crouch position there and catch and throw. So terrific pop time and accurate throw. Even more important was we got the call on the pitch. Right. It was right at the top of the strike zone. And sometimes when the catcher comes up a little bit, they come up a little too soon and they shield the umpire. So nice play there.
Bounce towards third. That's a fair ball inside the third base bag, rippling up the left field line. Jackson could cruise into second with a ringing 1-out double. His 4th extra base hit with the Orioles. He's into scoring position with a go-ahead run. And before the Orioles start the 4th time through the order, here comes Stephen Vogt after this hot shot that gets past the dive of Will Wilson. Seaview, he's had a nice season.
He really has some tough luck over the last 4 or 5 games. We mentioned earlier how he's took some tough losses.
Holiday drives it through the air, backing up Martinez in straightaway center. Catch is made, tagging at second. Jackson motoring towards third. Whoa, good throw by Martinez. Good thing Jackson didn't power down.
Yeah, good idea, though, to take third. If you know you're going to make it, even though it's going to be 2 outs with the man on third base, take it, because that's a position there where you're, you can score on a run with a wild pitch or something like that. It makes the pitcher think about it a little bit more. Doesn't have the ability to bury a pitch and maybe bounce it and give you a run. A little bit more pressure on him.
Ball 1 on Jordan Westburg. Look for something in the dirt or look for the 2-out knock. Westburg's 1 for 3, scoring a run today. 1 ball and 1 strike after missing the fastball. Cade Smith, Matt Festa loosening in the bullpen. 1-1. Elevated fastball. Westburg couldn't get to it.
Sobrowski pitched the other day, inning in 2/3. Did give up a run, give up a home run.
Heavy fastball usage, not overpowering. 1-2 coming, and that's way outside. That's one of the top-end fastball velocities that we'll see from Sobrowski.
Yeah, he's a guy that usually averages right around 93-ish, so he's a little jacked up here.
Inherits the runner in scoring position, gets him over to third. Fastball's in tight, and that'll move it to 3 balls and 2 strikes on Westburg. Jackson, the go-ahead run. Gunnar Henderson standing out on deck. 3-2. And he went with a curveball down and in.
Stepping to the plate now.
Hey, Birdland, cheer on the Orioles against the Blue Jays starting on Monday. Arrive to the ballpark early. The first 15,000 fans will get a Jordan Westburg bobblehead. Buy your tickets at Orioles.com/tickets. Westburg on first. Westy can be on your mantle after his bobblehead day. This is Gunnar Henderson, who singled his last time up. First and third for the Birds. And Henderson takes just outside. Henderson drives it a long way, but foul up the left field side.
Gunner's got good numbers with runners in scoring position, so see if he can take advantage of it here.
One, and he rips it into right field, down for a base hit. The Orioles on top with an RBI base hit from Gunnar Henderson. Westburg goes to third. Henderson makes it 4-3, and he'll take the extra bag with a wild throw going towards third. The Orioles get the 2-out knock they were looking for. It was teed up by Alex Jackson with his 1-out double. Westburg extending the inning with his base hit, and Henderson drives him in.
Yeah, big hit there. Ball's up in the zone. Gunner's head's right on it. Doesn't hit it particularly hard, but it's a nice little soft line drive, and Jones makes a mistake here, tries to throw Westburg out at third, and Gunnar, you can see on the back end, sees the throw go all the way through and takes the second base bag there is now second.
Something, Dave, that they weren't able to do the first 3 games of this series.
It was nice to see that situation there with 2 outs getting a big hit. The Indians have seemed to be getting the big 2-out hit all series, so it was nice to see Gunnar come through there.
6 for 12 today with runners in scoring position. Henderson at first, or at second. Westberg over at third. Ramon Laureano takes high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Festa taking over the pitching. Second appearance for Festa in this series. It's in front of Laureano. Ramon hit his 3rd homer of the series back in the 1st inning. He's bounced out sharply twice since.
Festa's numbers are interesting because he's only allows a 233 batting average against. His whip is like 1.1 something, which is excellent, yet his earned run average is over 5.
1-2. There was a lot of groans, but that pitch was way outside. Laureano got underneath it. Shallow in left. Rocchio goes back, calling away Kwan, and he'll haul it in. Orioles get the hit they've been looking for. Gunnar Henderson. Be the 4th time facing Charlie Morton. So this might be a short assignment in this 7th inning. You might have the Brian Rocchio, Austin Hedges matchup, and then Tony Mansolino, Drew French thinking about how to go the rest of the way 7, 8, 9.
He's absolutely dominated the second 2/3 of this lineup, so you can see the numbers there. 0 for 13.
0-2 slugged out of play. Stephen Kwan with his first career multiple homer game. There he is in the hole.
Babe Kwan.
Yeah. To Rocchio, and he got him. Another curveball snapped off by Morton. 7 strikeouts this afternoon for Charlie Morton.
the change of velocity more so than the hard change-ups and the hard sliders now, but and then also the downward action on it.
The 100th pitch bounced away, foul by Austin Hedges, who's trying to get sneaky again.
Too, that you can go out there and say, okay, we need to stretch the starter here a little bit, so yeah, you're going to push the 100 pitch limit here.
0-1, floating out to right field. O'Neill, routine fly ball, and there are 2 down. All right, so quickly through 1 and 2 here in this 7th inning. Stephen Kwan comes. Is it matchup related, or is it the news of the day where you don't have Felix Bautista on the back end of your bullpen trying to preserve a 1-run lead?
You can look at the odds and say, well, he's already got 2 hits. The odds are you're going to get him out at some point. So you definitely don't want to walk him, because then he's going to steal second. It's not a gimme, but it's a good possibility he would. So you try to make some pitches here. Don't give him anything right down the middle. He actually had some pretty good pitches to hit out of the ballpark on the 2 home runs that he hit. So you be careful with him, but I'm still going to make him have to hit his way to get on, because the 2 home runs are something that typically doesn't happen, obviously. He doesn't hit a lot of home runs.
The 2-0. That missed outside with the 104th pitch of the afternoon. That matches a season high for Charlie Morton. He's also equaled his season high in innings pitched at 6 2/3. Gets a sinker over on the 3-0. Corbin Martin has been loosening since the start of this inning. Charlie right back out of the line. And he paints it over with a cutter.
Yeah.
I haven't seen too many of those today.
Broke that out.
Payoff pitch, and it's up and out. A 2-out walk to the Guardians' leadoff man. Third time that Kwan's been aboard. And here comes Tony Mansolino to make the pitching change. They wanted to give him a shot.
He was really good. There's no doubt about that. And I think with the back-to-back starts now with Eflin and what Charlie was able to do, that was a good sign there. And of course, both of those guys will be on the blocks.
Angel Martinez pops up the first pitch that he sees from Corbin Martin, and that will retire the side. We are through 7. O's with a 4-3 lead. But maybe that's
not floppy enough.
No, that's the bougie version of floppy hat. Jacob Judas. 39th appearance of the season. He'll take over here in the 8th inning against Tyler O'Neill. Ramon Arias and Kobe Mayo coming up. Orioles scored 3 in the first. The Guardians came back to tie the ball game. They broke a 3-3 score in the 7th with an RBI base hit from Gunnar Henderson. Junis worked quickly past the sinker, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on O'Neill. Tyler singled and scored his first time up. Got a base hit but was left stranded in the 3rd. And he charges that to the gap, left center field. Martinez a long run. A stride away from the warning track. Tracks down the drive from O'Neill, and there's 1 away.
Junis is working on 6 scoreless outings in a row, and I think maybe about 10 out of his last 11, so he's throwing really well of late.
That is Sir Anthony Dominguez loosening in the bullpen. If you're trying to think about how the rest of this ball game will lay out for Tony Mansolino with today's departure of Felix Bautista, landing on the injured list, retroed back to start the clock on Monday. Found out that he wasn't available, trying to get activated during the game yesterday. Out of the equation in that tight contest against the Guardians last night. And then the big blow today with him landing on the injured list. So now you've got to think about who are the options? Who are the guys? Gregory Soto, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Andrew Kittredge has 8 career saves.
You got Ramirez leading off the 8th inning, and then after that, the bottom half, which Charlie Morton handled miraculously there. He was just so good with him.
Arias retired on the bounding ball. Let's have a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Science at Kirk. Need a lawyer? Contact Science at Kirk. Visit youhavealawyer.com. Wrap it up on this Thursday afternoon. Told you Floppy Hat's coming on Friday. Weekend continues against the Rockies, and then a lot of baseball in a short amount of time against the Blue Jays Monday, Tuesday with the Twin Bill, and then Wednesday, wrapping up that 4-gamer, 3-day series with the Blue Jays. And then, of course, the trade deadline. We're now within a week of the trade deadline. Ryan O'Hearn will pinch hit for Kobe Mayo. Pitch over for a called strike. Ball and a strike on Ryan O'Hearn. Do you have a preference on how you would line up? In my opinion, you build the game from the back, those final 3 outs, and then figure out your pockets and to identify, right?
I think because he has to mix and match a little bit, he might have to wait until you get to that 6th or 7th inning and then say, okay, where are we in the lineup and where we may be in the lineup? Because right now, the 8th inning sets up good with Ramirez starting off. Get him out, then you got the lower 2/3 of the lineup who have not, done well against Charlie Morton, and then maybe you mix and match where the lefties and righties are. But if a couple guys get on and then you end up getting out of it, well, that might change your mind on who actually is going to face in the 9th, because now you got the lineup turning over and you got Kwan, Martinez, and then maybe Ramirez again.
3-2 fouled back. That's not necessarily, if you look at the different pockets, right versus left in some cases. Now, Jose Ramirez is a switch hitter, but you look at it in the pocket that can do the most damage, so you might want your best leverage arm in that matchup. 3-2, driven out of play by O'Hearn. So if you've got to go through 3, 4, and 5, Ramirez, Manzardo, and Jones, that's why Drew French, the pitching department, Tony Mansolino get together before the ball game and say, all right, if we're in this situation, this is the guy. That's outside on O'Hearn. Nice pinch hit appearance for him. A 2-out walk. If you go in a traditional sense, I think Sir Anthony Dominguez is a 9th inning guy. Andrew Kittredge is a really fascinating study because you could look at how he's been deployed this season in his career, his arsenal. He's kind of like this Swiss Army knife. He could do so much and so many different things for you.
See, he's a guy that I almost feel like I kind of rely a little bit more on in that 9th inning situation.
Carlson got tagged by that pitch. And so Junis, who got a couple of quick outs, walks Ryan O'Hearn and then dots Carlson. Got him right above the knee. And now Colton Cowser will pinch hit.
And it would even make it a little easier, not easy, but a little easier if Cowser can rip a double, put another run or 2 on the board.
Carl Willis on the march through the dugout and jogging out. Batting for Alex Jackson in the number 9 spot. O's trying to open it up. Junis stays away from Cowser. Two balls and no strikes. This is playing right into the hand of Colton Cowser.
Lock in right here. Pick a location where you want to see something you can drive.
Got one on the inside third, but a string pulled, so a changeup has Cowser laying off. That's off the outside corner. Junis nibbling on Cowser. This is the first time this season Kowser's been asked to pinch hit, and he rips one up the right field line, and that is just foul. Boy, did he ever smother that 3-1. Absolutely blistered it. But it banked just foul up the right field line.
Wow. He hit that ball hard. You can see there hooking, of course. Way foul. Hit that ball extremely hard.
Exit velo 112.
That's how you're supposed to hit that ball when you have a 3-1 count.
Runners go, and it's bounced towards the hole. Sheeman shovels over to retire Kowser. Couple left to board, midway through the 8th. First rounder put it to paper today. Slater DeBrun, the 37th overall pick in this year's draft, signed as an Oriole today. High school draftee, had committed to Vanderbilt, put pen to paper today, and his professional journey is going to start in a couple of days.
And the Orioles have signed all of their top 10 draft picks.
All right, one-run game, last of the 8th. 4-3 Orioles. Sir Anthony Dominguez coming out of the bullpen, working on Jose Ramirez. That starts him off with a sinker downstairs, ball 1. For the short term, this is how the Orioles will have to get through the back half of the ball game. Identifying pockets, going with which arm is better in leverage. And so far, 1 ball, 1 strike on Jose Ramirez.
Great pitch there. 1-0 count. Ramirez is sitting ready to turn on something. Gets the off-speed pitch.
Bounding ball, backs up Holiday. From the grass, easy out. Good guy to retire, good guy to keep off the bases, period.
Big out right there. Huge.
Making the play down for the Guardians, number 9, Kyle Manzardo.
Beautiful afternoon in downtown Cleveland. Finally, a quiet day for him. He's walked in between a couple of strikeouts. Had gone 4 for his first 9 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Jacob Stallings behind the plate. Colton Kowser in the outfield. Saw Ryan O'Hearn over at first base. Pitch outside from Dominguez as he misses with the splitter on Manzardo. Taking, gets a high strike.
Borderline, got the call though. It was a strike.
Up the middle for a base hit. Single by Manzardo, his 5th hit of the series, gets the tying run on.
Well, he made him earn it. He's on either way, but for some crazy reason, I still feel better about him making him at least swing the bat. He put a good swing on that high fastball. Laced it up the middle.
Manzardo really not a threat to run. Starts on his knees. It's driven out of play by Nolan Jones.
That last at bat to me, it was flying open a little bit on the splitter, not staying closed and finish it off. Going high and away with that. See if he can tuck that shoulder in and stay closed. That's a better one. There you go.
Good split. No balls and 2 strikes. Kobe Allard is the lefty, and then Emmanuel Clase getting loosened up. He's had back-to-back saves in this series. Pitch to Jones, tapped away foul. Well, this is a Cleveland ball club evaluating so much over the next 6 days as they try to run down Detroit. Tigers were the first team to win 60 ball games, but man, have they ever been toiling. Really in the run right now. There's a light slate of Major League Baseball. Only 5 games will be played today. And one of the more intriguing series, a club that the Orioles are waiting on against, I mentioned the Tigers, playing today in Toronto. Blue Jays were the first 60-win team in the American League Eastern Division. Last night's win for Toronto clinched the head-to-head series over the New York Yankees. That could be a big impact through the month of September. The way that the division looks like it's going to shake out. Detroit's trying to turn it around. They've dropped 9 out of the last 10. Another reason why Cleveland is nipping on their heels. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nolan Jones.
Got to throw a strike here. You don't want to go 3-2 because Manzardo doesn't run well, but that doesn't mean 3-2 that they may not put him in motion. Then a ball in the gap will score him. So you got to get him right here. Got to throw the ball over the plate right here.
2-2 coming, and it got him. A 99-mile-an-hour four-seamer from Sir Anthony Dominguez strikes out Jones.
That'll
2
work.
away.
Nicely done.
Stepping in now, Guardians, number 10, Daniel Steven.
Just go with the power, and he blew it right by him.
Strikes. So really the only pitch he's thrown for strikes has been the fastball. Okay. Again,
A gift for Dominguez.
sometimes you get a gift, sometimes you don't.
A 1. Down and away with the splitter missing. And that got into the lap, but smothered by Stallings, so Manzardo stays put.
This is a big at-bat for Dominguez and the Orioles, because if you get him here, you can get Schneemann out. Then you got 7, 8, 9 coming up in the ninth inning. And you can possibly stay away from the top of the order altogether.
Carlos Santana available today, out of the lineup. A switch hitter that perhaps the Guardians could lead on. That's floating into short right field, down in front of O'Neill for a base hit. Manzardo, station to station. Schneemann with his first hit today.
Well, there you go. It is getting interesting now. Yep. Jammed him a little bit, but he got it out there. It looks like Santana's going to come up and hit.
Manzardo with the tying run at second base. Daniel Schneemann aboard at first. 2 down here in the 8th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez trying to navigate this 8th. Baltimore's 9th starts at the top of the card as we wait on Carlos Santana to make his appearance. First, Drew French out. The very high bar of work ethic and passion for baseball, and the standards that you need to succeed in the game, both as a coach, as a manager, as somebody you want leading young players. Pitch to Carlos Santana, dives in for a called strike. He said one of the biggest separators for Tony Mansolino is his curiosity. And I talked to Tony Mansolino about that, where that curiosity comes from. And he said being around the ball games at the big league level with his dad, the 0-1. Did he offer? No, on the appeal down to third. And he goes, you have to ask questions in the game. You have to, one, get better as a performer, but also you have to think about the game. You have to think about different situations. You have to project and go through all these mental gymnastics so you're prepared. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tony Mansolino, he's self-deprecating. He said, I wasn't a good player. I had to fight for everything in my career. I also had to fight for my first job. And he told me when we were chatting the other day, he was substitute teaching back in Tennessee, and he was looking for an opportunity, and he was trying to track down somebody at the Guardians. Check swing by Santana, and the at-bat stays alive. It's 2-2. He was substitute teaching. He looked down at his phone. It was from Cleveland. He stepped out into the hallway, tried to keep one eye on the students in the classroom, spent 30 minutes on the phone in October saying, can I just get a chance? This is what I want to do. This is what I think I can do if you give me a chance. Sure enough, that January, Cleveland brought him to town, and his career changed with an interview after he got the job. Pitch bounce to the plate. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Santana. There's runners on at first and second. The tying run leads the way. The veteran Carlos Santana coming back to Cleveland, where he had a lot of success early in his career. He'll have the runners in motion in front of him.
Yeah, that's why it's so important on that 2-2 pitch, the pitch of decision. You got to, at that point, you got to throw a strike. Santana hits it in the gap. With the runners in motion, they're going to probably score from first base and take the lead. That wouldn't be the case if they're not in motion.
They go, the 3-2. Got him! He struck him out with a curveball.
Wow. Good pitch.
Dominguez retires the... He is making his march back to the mound today in Aberdeen as his return to pitch program begins. Jackson Holliday leads off at the top of the ninth inning, bounds out to second base with one pitch. There's one out for Kobe Allard. You know, it's always great to get the reinforcements tracking back. Get them on the way back to the big league club where you know they belong. And for Kyle Bradish, few have been more dominant in the last couple of years than Kyle Bradish.
Look, it's, every opportunity for him to get out on the mound right now and be able to go out and pitch competitively and try to work his way back to health and to get back to the big leagues. Really important for Kyle. Orioles need him badly. So good when he's healthy.
0-1 to Westberg, and it's 0-2 on the Oriole DH today. Bradish was so dominant, 30 starts back in 2023, a Cy Young Award finalist. The lefty Gregory Soto starting to loosen. Brian Rocchio, Austin Hedges, Stephen Kwan coming up in the ninth for Cleveland. 2024 halted 8 starts into the season for Kyle Bradish. As we mentioned, his march is coming back. Others are on the way too. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. A very frustrating ring up for Jordan Westberg.
Because he's just not very good behind the plate. This is something I've seen. He's been behind the plate a bunch of games over the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, and he's just not good back there. That's not even close to being a strike to be called for a called third strike.
There's Gunnar Henderson. Fastball clips the inside corner, puts Gunnar behind. Gunnar's got the big swing today. Broke a 3-3 ball game in the 7th with his 2-out RBI single. One to Gunnar. Fouled away. There's somebody else that's making a rehab start today is Cade Povich. We haven't seen the young lefty since he pitched on Father's Day. He's been on the injured list with left hip inflammation. Should be somewhere around 80-85 pitches in his rehab start today. That lines him up to take over one of those ball games against the Blue Jays at Twin Bill on Tuesday.
Hopefully everything goes well.
2-2 coming, and it's pulled away foul.
The deadline approaching here. It'll be interesting to see who's still with the Orioles and who the Orioles, if they trade some guys, who they get in return and how that affects different things.
Watch out. Almost got Henderson. Did it get Henderson?
He says it did. He wants him to check.
Well, usually you see that immediate discard of the bat. So, might have got the Velcro.
Yeah. And I guess Phil, because he heard it, didn't call it right away, but then after Gunnar said something, then he was like, yeah, pointing down the first base, like, yep.
Here's Ramon Laureano. Started the offense today with a 2-run home run. Jackson Holliday, for less than 24 hours, had the clubhouse lead with 14. The 3rd homer of this series for Ramon. Now gives him 14 home runs on the year. There's Jackson, tucked away in the shade. Henderson hustles back.
Let's see if Ramon can pick another one out. Auer's not a strikeout guy. He's more of a contact guy. More hits than innings pitched, so Doesn't get a lot of swings and misses.
Hit the outside corner. Had an idea, lays off.
Well, you really have to expand the strike zone. I mean, you can't take a pitch that's 2 or 3 inches off the plate because he may call it a strike. We saw that already really for the most of the game. And then we saw it this inning with Westberg.
Tapper towards short. Rokio on the backhand, off balance onto first in time to get the out and retire the side. 8.5 in the books. Orioles into the ninth, and Soto's first pitch is down low. More importantly, for Gregory Soto, it is about pitch execution. Not falling behind, not being too erratic. Find the strike zone and try to let your stuff play. There's 99 gliding over the outside third.
Yeah, I'll let that play all day long. But you're right, it's a matter of him being able to figure it out mechanically and be able to get that release point and throw a lot of strikes. You throw them early, then they'll chase when they get 2 strikes. He does have a nice arsenal there, so now with a 1-2 count, he has the ability to either come right back, being a little bit more defensive and throw a good fastball in a good spot, or see if he'll chase something. Then you got to come right back if you don't get him out on that pitch and throw a strike.
Sliders.
Backdoor slider there. Tried to catch that outside corner.
Small sample size, but successful for Rocchio. 2 for 2 lifetime against Soto. The pitch. Pulled foul. Rose looking for his second win on the road trip before they head back home to face the Rockies. Cleveland goes to KC. And it got him. Good slider boring down and in. Rocchio over the top. 1 down in the ninth.
Ooh, that's a good pitch. Good depth there. That had probably a little bit more downward movement. You're going to see here right out of the hand. That ball goes down pretty good. And Rocchio swings right over top of it. Great pitch.
And only DHing right now for Cleveland. And a fastball picks the outside corner. And he's in front 0-2. Fry really looked jumpy on that pitch, didn't he?
He did. Did not have a good swing at a fastball. Out of the zone, too. Here's where you may not want to throw a strike. All right, good.
Now it's a slider and a little bit more passive from Fry's perspective.
Now you come right back. Okay, you had one pitch. You chased a pitch out of the zone on the 1 count. And then you're like, okay, well, I'll give him an opportunity to do it again. But now, you got to go get him. Throw a quality pitch, make him put the ball in play.
1-2. That's way outside. Two to Fry. And he got him. Another slider. The first one down and in. The second on the back door. Fry couldn't get to it. 2 away.
Well, as good as the slider was to get Rocchio, you can't throw a better, well-located pitch than that one right there. Just unhittable right there. There's nothing he could do.
Over the last few weeks, this has been the toughest out in the series. Steven Kwan today, his first career multiple homer game. A little dribbler hugging the line. Backhanded pick by Arias. On to first. In time to finish the ball game. What a great play by the Gold Glover, Ramon Arias. A backhand right on top of the chalk. Off balance throw to first. O'Hearn stepping into foul territory. Holds the bag to retire Kwan. Soto slams the door, and the Orioles pick up a 4-3 win.
That's as good a play as you're going to see, and he has